All right. Hello, everyone. Good to see you there out in internet land, wherever you may be. Good to have you here. Paul Trani here, and good to have Veronica Belmont here. What's up, Veronica? How you doing?
I'm pretty well. How are you?
Doing fast, just fascinating. I'm just doing great. I
You're
use that
doing
word fascinating.
fascinating.
I'm doing fascinating is what I was about to say. I'm
That's
doing pretty
good.
good. Yeah.
Well, I've got a matching microphone today, so hopefully the sound will be better. And I noticed your trick of wearing a black shirt to actually hide the microphone. That was smart. That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Not that I wouldn't wear black anyways, but it's good that it's all good here. So cool. I might adjust your volume down a little bit, everyone. So don't be concerned, but hopefully you're coming in loud and clear. Feel
Yeah.
free to say hello, people in chat. Let us know if we're coming in loud and clear and how you're doing and what you had for lunch or dinner. I had tater tots. I sent Veronica a picture earlier
Oh
of the
man, I
tater
was super
tots. And they're
jealous. I
pretty
had
good.
tater tots yesterday, and Paul and I were talking about how good tater tots were. We were going to use it as an example project for yesterday's show, and then we got
Yeah.
sidetracked by pie, which often happens. But
Yeah.
those tater tots looked pretty next level, I have to say.
Yeah. They were actually called fancy tots.
Fancy tots.
So, but like you said yesterday, it will kind of sneak up on it because eventually you're going to eat way more than you should, and that's what happened to me today. And that kind of happened to you too
Yeah, yeah.
yesterday. Yeah.
I got
So
tater tot tummy.
I got tater tot tummy right now, so it's all good. I'm not going anywhere anyways. It's fine.
No, we're just
I'm
hanging
just
out.
gonna, yeah, we're just hanging out. We're happy you're here, Steve and Tia, and Marsha. Sounds really good. That's what I've noticed.
Oh,
The two
good.
big mics right here, so we're doing fantastic.
Whew.
That's good for audio.
Felt so bad. I went to school for audio production, so when I heard that Zoom was picking up my wrong microphone yesterday, I was pretty bummed out. So I
Yeah.
apologize to anyone who was watching yesterday's show or listening back on YouTube. But we're all good now, and we've got a lot of fun Spark stuff to showcase today.
Yeah. Sounds awesome. And as an audio professional, I guess, and being a podcaster for years, just being in the tech industry, you realize you have to check everything. Like the moment you get a little cocky is the moment you kind of screw up a little bit. Like I know I do. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah,
Like
I
if you
mean,
don't check your files, yeah, you tripped over that cord or whatever.
I back up everything like several times when I'm recording, especially if it's like a really important interview or something like that. Like I've had too many situations throughout my career where, you don't record a backup, you accidentally
Oh
don't hit
shoot.
record at all, things crash
Oh
like in the 11th hour and suddenly you lose everything. So yeah,
wow.
I've had pretty much every bad thing happen in the course of recording audio, and so
Yeah.
I feel like I should know better. But you're right. This new world of having to set your different mic ins and outs and your headphone jacks and all that stuff for halfway decent web recording is
Yeah.
definitely a learning
And
curve.
everybody's learning that now, just like working from home and all that good stuff. But yeah, I agree. I think I usually say the only reason I know anything is because I've screwed it up at some point in my life.
That's how you learn.
I've done the wrong things enough times to now do the right things, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's good, and I'm super excited about this. I'm gonna go ahead and share your screen,
Cool.
if I could, because I see that you have Spark up, and that's why we're all here, everyone.
Yeah.
Yay.
So we were talking yesterday. We did this really fun project. So for those who don't know, Spark is included in your Creative Cloud subscription. You can buy the monthly $9.99 per month subscription for the standalone app. It also comes with your photography plan. So that's like Lightroom, Spark, and if not Photoshop. Photoshop's not in the photography plan, right?
Yeah, I feel like it is.
Can't remember.
Yeah,
Okay.
I should double check. We should
We
double
should
check
double
that.
check on that. But anyway, Spark is three different formats. We have Spark Post, Spark Page, and Spark Video. And yesterday we primarily played around with Spark Post, creating some really fun logo designs that I really loved. This one in particular for our pie, our fake bakery called Pie Fight. Which really kind of reflects my hardcore kid heritage from the East Coast, which I appreciate very much. So this was a lot of fun, but I think later during the session today we should do that competition that we were talking about, where maybe we could, both try to create a logo. You using Photoshop or Illustrator? What would you use for that?
If I'm creating a logo, I think I'll start out. I'll probably work in Illustrator. Just so you know, just because it's like I think it's funny. It's everything starts in Illustrator, like on the desktop, and then just gets used everywhere else. But yeah, that's probably where I will start, unless I want to get super fancy. But
yeah, and then I'll use Spark, and we'll see. I'm pretty sure yours is going to be a little more professional looking, but
yeah, who knows? But because I was thinking about that, because like I actually, as a designer, do a lot of the same things that you were doing with the Pie Fight logos, like. I'll go resource graphics, and I'll jump out to like Adobe Stock, and I'll do all that fun stuff too. So it's like I'm smart enough to not have to create everything from scratch, but be able to modify the things that I do find. So I think our process might be similar. You'll probably be faster. But
what I'm doing right now is I just wanted to. One thing we didn't show off yesterday was really resize at all. So I wanted to make sure that we covered that a bit first. So I just made a different version, a duplicate of my file. I'm going to hop in here, and I'm actually going to make this a group.
Yeah, go
select
for
all
it.
these different elements just so I don't.
Thank you, chat. They have confirmed that Photoshop is in the photography plan. I figured it was, but I'm glad we got everybody fact checking.
It's like you just want to make sure. Some days I obviously this is something I know and love, but once in a while I double guess myself.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I'm like, wait, is that right? I don't know.
So either way, what I did just here was I downloaded, I grouped all my assets so that I could kind of resize them all at once. And now I'm going to go into my brand section. I don't remember if I would. Okay, cool. So I did import the logo, but I'll just show you how to do that again, just for fun. So I'm going to, we made this brand called Better Bakers, but we're going to import this new version. And I'm just pulling in this transparent PNG. There we go. And so now I have a new asset to work with. And if I want to go and start working on a new project, for example, like maybe I want to create, let's do a Facebook cover for our brand. So I'm just selecting a start from scratch, blank slate here. This is, nothing's saved yet. But if I want to do like an advertisement, for example, I can just search for ad. And this is all kind of assuming Facebook too. Filter results by Facebook. Okay, cool. So it's doing the Facebook aspect ratio here.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I don't have to worry about what size I'm selecting. I don't have to think about it. What if I do ad and then if I can do baking? So I'm just basically pulling in all of my templates right here. Oh, awesome. Okay, so we've got some pretty good options here. This has pies in it, so I'm going to try that. It's a premium template, which means it's going to have premium assets built into it, like premium logos, not logos, rather fonts. And then we're working on some, we're working on some other like really cool, like premium value type stuff in the future as well. Go back into that Facebook cover, start over there. I'm going to pick something not premium. Let's go back to baking.
Ricardo says he uses Spark for all his presentations.
Oh, right on.
He does all his presentation logos there or whatever, presentations. I think that's interesting too, because I see Slideshow there, and honestly I have not used Slideshow in Spark, just FYI.
Well, Slideshow is actually, so we call those tasks, but they're kind of like format agnostic. So it says Slideshow, so what it actually is a Spark video.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how it works. So like presentation is actually a Spark page, because those are tasks that you would use those formats for. Okay, so it's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So now
it'll have those transitions and everything. This is looking good. So again, I would start here as a designer. I'd like, give me a starting point. Again, I would like, even if you're lacking inspiration as a designer, jump in here and be like, hey, what does Spark have?
Right.
What does it have that I don't have?
Well, we were talking too yesterday about how Spark is really wonderful for if you are a professional designer and you work with a lot of different teams within your company, like marketing or social media team, communications, what have you, like being able to basically create a brand within Spark that has all that professionally designed work that you've done, like your logo, your correct typefaces, everything you want, being able to have this whole design system like built into Spark where people don't have to worry about having the most recent version of the logo or the correct fonts and typefaces. So it helps you kind of like really amp up your design velocity. All right, so now I think we showed yesterday that you can actually switch back and forth between brands. So I've got Spark is my default brand, but I've pulled in our Better Bakers or our Pie Fight brand, my podcast, Sword and Laser, doing some work with the ICRC. So we're doing a lot of we have a lot of different options here, and all of these have their own predefined typefaces and colors and secondary colors. And also templates that we've created for those brands as well. But I pulled this in as kind of like an original template. So it doesn't have any of my branding. It's not using any of those assets that I've created for my brand. So if I want to go and do that and actually add all that content, I'm just going to brandify it. Now this is under your design section here on your nav. I'm just going to hit brandify. And now that's going to apply all my brand colors, my logos. There's my logo here, my font. It added, what I can do is I can go back and shuffle and it'll do different versions of that color combination. So these are actually different icons here, which is cool. They're using different icons from the Noun project.
I love it.
To create this layered effect. Yeah.
Very cool.
So that's why it just happened to pick the same color for both of those icons, but that's why we can go back and shuffle around and change it.
Or just, and then refine it, like replace the individual ones.
Yeah, like I think that black background was a little bit too dark, so I'm going to change that to another branded version. Now this is a little hard to see, so I'm going to go change the color here. This darker one. So like I said, I'm not a designer, but in a few seconds, I'm able to create something that's like pretty on brand for my company or my small business, and then just download it. Save it as a PNG if I want a higher quality thing for an advertisement on Facebook, JPEG if I want obviously smaller, more compressed, or PDF. PDF is really nice if you're going to print it. So we can talk about that a little bit later because I thought it would be fun to maybe make a menu in Spark Page and be able to print it out later.
That sounds good. And everything you're doing coincides with what Marsha's talking about. She's actually wondering if Spark has a guidelines template for color fonts and rules. Yeah, it has. She asked, does Spark have brand guidelines template for color, fonts, rules, etc.?
So one of the things that we're trying to do in the future is actually be able to give you more like stringent brand guidelines. So for example, you can have your logos, you can have your colors, including your secondary colors. You can import your own fonts, typefaces, be able to use those in any of your templates. You can create branded templates. So this is actually something that we're working on for the near future, which is called like shareable templates. So being able to have you as a designer create a template that only has certain aspects of it that can be changed. So if you wanted to create a campaign for your social marketing team or create something for the public, but you wanted to really make sure that those elements built into your template don't get moved around or altered. Like say if you want your logo in a very specific location and you need to have that padding on the side, that's the way you want it to be. You don't want people being able to take your templates and switch out the logo or move it around or make it a weird color. So that's something we're thinking about a lot and trying to work into the product for the future.
Yeah, that's very cool and pretty important because also for some companies they'll have different versions of their logo. So they'll have the bug version, the small version, which again, somebody not knowing would use the wrong version and blah, blah, blah. But locking that stuff down makes the branding team feel so much better.
Totally. So right now I'm actually creating a branded template that I'll be able to access from my brand section. So this is just applying automatically my logo that I've created, blank background, but I can go back in and maybe add a photo background, for example. Gonna hop into my Find Free Photos and search for pie. And we've got some great options right off the bat. We kind of walked through this a little bit yesterday.
Is this gonna be locked down though? Like if you drop that in, is that background gonna be locked in that template or you're remixing the template? I'd like to know if you could lock down some things and not other things.
Not yet. That's part of what I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
So What we can lock down though, or not really lock down, is images. So we can either pin them to the background or we can use them as kind of floating PNGs. So I'm going to pin this one to the background. And I'm going to actually move my logo. So now this is going to be saved as a template. Let's see, we could add something like a swipe up down at the bottom. Make this a little smaller. Center that. So imagine that I'm creating some kind of like Instagram story template that my fellow team members could use in the future. Make it look more like a little button here. A button.
Sweet.
And then I'm not loving that color combination, so I'm gonna play around with that a little bit.
Yeah, it needs a. Can you add a pop of that that gold?
Oh, you want some gold in there?
Yeah, in the background. Yeah, if it was like.
Yeah. So I'll use my dropper tool.
Oh, cool.
Pick up that yellow, and then we can invert it. Actually, see how that looks. Now that we've got. There we go.
Okay.
And I don't love that font actually, so I'm going to change it to something a little more fun. This is the one thing that I have trouble with sometimes. I have so many Adobe fonts pulled into, because I mean, I use tons of premium templates, and every time you use a new premium template, it adds the Adobe font to your collection. So sometimes for me, who is making new premium template stuff like every day, it takes a little while to load, but it's not bad. Okay, that's more fun. Great. So just like that, we've got a little background, little image. I'm going to save this as an Instagram story template.
Very cool. I think everybody is really appreciating you showing Spark, because it seems like a lot of people like it falls under the radar, like they just don't remember about it that they could use it.
Yeah.
Even as a designer. So
that's the thing. Like like I said, we're available as part of the Creative Cloud subscription. And so sometimes people think like, oh, this isn't really for me. I'm a professional designer. You know, I don't need a tool like this. But when we're talking about like working with a bigger team, or even just being someone who's like has their own side hustle or personal project, being able to kind of ramp up your design velocity, and especially with the mobile apps, being able to do a lot of this on the go, it really does help like just create fun content that you can take with you anywhere.
Yeah, very cool.
I'm pretty happy with that stuff. Do you want to do our little logo competition?
Yeah, let's do it. And also, it looks like Ricardo dropped a Spark link into chat that I'm just checking out as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious about it. Oh, so he did a logo proposal. I'm going to try to switch to my. I probably need to adjust some of this stuff. Give me 1 second.
We're doing it live.
Because my head is huge. I got to change this layout as I share my other screen, but this is kind of cool. Maybe I'll put me on the other side. Let's do this.
I'll start poking around, and we can also play around with Spark Page too.
Oh yeah.
That'd be fun to start with. I'll create a web page here.
Do your thing.
So what's cool about Spark Page actually is that it's fully responsive. So anything that I create here on the web is going to look phenomenal on a mobile browser as well. So I'm using a theme now for our Better Bakers brand. Updated menu. So I'm just pretending that I'm creating like an updated menu that people can access by following the link for May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, 2020. Great. So I've got, this is my title screen essentially, also what's going to be used for any thumbnails if you share your publish link online. So you want it to look pretty cool and eye-catching. This is our
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. This is our add photo section.
I just wonder this is fun to think about Cinco de Mayo pies is what I'm thinking about. Like what would those look like? What flavors? You know, like a mango with like chili salt on it or something. Like, I don't know.
I would be super into that. All right. This is a cool background. So another thing, when you get your image, you also want to set a focal point, and I'll show you why that's important. So when you click on focal point, you get this little portrait preview up here. This is actually what it's going to look like on a mobile web browser. So you want to make sure you grab, like as I move it around, you can see it's like selecting different areas of interest. But if I want like this pie to be the most important pie, I'll just save that. Great. And then most of you have probably seen this before, but Spark Page, super modular. So anything you select becomes like a new content area. So if I want to go about and create a text block, I just click on that. I love getting to type in real time on a live stream. It's really the best because you have to not only think about what you want to say, you also have to make sure you don't spell horribly. So check out our new menu for Cinco de Mayo. Okay. I'm going to make this a title, center it, and then you can just kind of have fun from there. I can add a photo grid. We're just going to add some random pie pictures.
Michael's getting hungry.
I know. We had this problem yesterday too.
I don't know why we keep doing it to ourselves.
About tater tots, talking about, yeah, it's good times. Glideshow is kind of like the secret weapon of Spark Page because it's got this like really great parallax effect for when you're scrolling through the page. So what you can actually do is stack them. Actually, let me just go back in here, edit photos.
I don't think I've really used Glideshow.
Yeah, Glideshow's the best. I'll show you why it's so good. So I'm just stacking, like I'm in the Glideshow section. I'm stacking images on top of each other. And this is really great too if you're doing like some kind of portfolio or if you want to do like a photo journal of a recent trip that you had. Anything where you really want to like highlight images. So now that I put those together, that's what they look like when I'm just scrolling through. But if I go into actual preview mode, which is going to show me what the live version would look like once I publish, head up to the top here. So you can see, first of all, these are my great image grids here. You can click through, no problem, works as expected. But then when you get down here, see that like really slight like animation motion, that effect? So it's super cool. And it's just like really seamlessly blends together.
Yeah.
But of course, you can add more text and images here as well.
Oh, wow.
Get all the same editing effects that you would have in any other kind of text block. I'm not loving this theme, actually. It's a little too dark. I'm going to switch to the light theme.
There we go.
But again, this is all part of my branding.
It's nice just to be able to like click a button, change it some more, you know, and it doesn't affect anything. It's cool.
Yeah, and we can of course have CTAs here as well. I'll make just do Adobe.com.
Can you set a link in a photo grid?
You cannot set links, yeah. So these cannot be hyperlinked, unfortunately. Okay. But you can add buttons, which can have links. So that's definitely a feature request we've heard a lot of, and especially in this era when we're trying to like use these things to kind of, you know, promote ourselves and promote our different projects and promote like things we might be selling online. It'd be nice to have more options there. So I'll definitely bring that back to the team. Nice. Yeah, and just like that. So that was like real fast. Obviously, you can imagine like having all of your different like menu options in here. And when I'm happy with it, I can just publish out and share the link. And that will create a permalink that whenever I make changes to this page, I just update it and the newest version will be out there automatically.
Very cool. And then what else is up there in terms of sharing? Like, can you share that with me or with that, you know, again, the chef or whoever, so they could update the menu or whatever once you've built this page?
Yeah. So anyone, I can just send an email to anyone here. I could send it to you, and then you would get an email or a notification in your launcher that would just say like, hey, like Veronica shared this project with you. Do you want to go edit it? And it is locked co-editing, so only one person can be in it at a time, which is actually pretty good. So you're not like saving over other people's changes, which is kind of the worst. Yeah,
exactly. You don't want to save, and you don't want to have all these conflicted copies. because that's usually the get out of jail when that situation comes up. But then I got to figure out which copy is the right copy and what they
and
did
then,
versus what
versioning is an extra layer of complexity. And so it's
Yeah.
just being able to have like one source of truth at one time, I think is where we're at right now. Though we'd love to get to a place where we could have like real-time editing like XD and being able to do like real-time live co-editing. I think that would be great too in the future.
Yeah, that would be cool. PM's just mentioning about like controlling the image section on Spark, because sometimes it crops it funny, which can you control the crop of an image?
You cannot control the crop right now. But that is another thing we've heard a ton about.
Okay.
Not in Page. In Post, obviously, you definitely can.
For sure. And when you're scrolling, like the set focal point that you did earlier, that's a way of sort of adjusting a crop for a full width image.
I can do it here for I thought you could do it for Glide Show. I guess you can't do it for, oh, there it is. Okay. It's just in the wrong spot. So you can do it for Glide Show. So if I wanted to make sure the clap of this powder was here. This is a tough one because it's a vertical image, portrait image. So we don't have a ton of flexibility going left to right. But if I want to make sure I get that nice bit of powder in his hands, I can just save that focal point. And so then when I do share it out, that will be the focus of the image going through.
Yeah, very cool. And that's all. Those are all free images. Obviously, you could upload your own and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can pull in from, if you have a stock plan, you can use your licensed stock images. We use Creative Commons license images from Pixabay and Unsplash for our Find Free Photos section, which is great. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of images to choose from. So that is really just a great way to, if you're not a professional photographer, if you don't have access to that kind of stuff, being able to use images that evoke the feeling you're trying to put across with your work, I think is really a nice option to have. Instead of having to go out there into the Google world and searching for things and finding things you have the rights to, it's nice to have it all in one place.
Plus, I love, and I don't know if Spark Page does this, but also the accreditation that is given when you make a video. Does it do that on Spark Page?
It does. Yeah, so if you go all the way down to the bottom, actually, I think it's in the preview version or the published version. There it is, right here at the bottom. So you get your images created by, which is just really nice to have. Yeah. And then, of course, there's our little logo because we're using a branded theme.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. I'm into it. So let's see, just time check. We have 30 minutes. We could just do a fun design off just for kicks. I don't know if we do it based off of a new subject or if we still do pie fight or if we do a tater tot theme. I don't know.
I kind of feel like we should do the tater tot theme. We've been talking about it a lot. I feel like this is the logical conclusion to that story.
Yep. We owe it to ourselves to do.
Okay. So the rules.
Okay, so and we're open to suggestions concerning like a tater tot restaurant, if you will. So tots to go. I don't know. Tots is very weird. Tots. Anyways, open to suggestions for names. Because when I say tots, I sometimes think of children. And so it gets kind of weird. So I'm very hesitant with some of these. But like fancy tots, that's like a safe one.
Tasty tots. I guess that's kind of creepy.
Tasty tots is good. Yeah, that sounds good. Fancy. So we're showing, just so you know, we're showing your screen and my screen like at the same time right now.
Okay. I can't see your screen, so I'm not going to know what you make.
Oh, it's awesome. What I've made right now is
What you've already made.
What I've already made is just brilliant. It's totally.
How am I going to see the final version? I'll have to go to the Behance page after.
I could. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. Are we going to have a vote? That's not fair. They know you.
I mean, well, yeah. And we're just doing this for fun. I would consider this more of a collaboration because that's usually what happens. We kind of have these competitions and they just turn into collaborations because you're going to be doing some things that I like and then I'm going to steal them. So that's going to happen. Just FYI. So feel free. So do we go with like
yet?
None yet.
All right, let's see.
So again, just to recap, Tater Tot company or business sells fancy tots, like we're talking garlic parmesan, like truffle oil, Barbecue might be another one. I know we're not supposed to be inventing the menu now, but I can't help it. Maybe some
I think I have an idea for my name. I think I have an idea for my talk company. Maybe you should come up with your own talk company.
Oh yeah. So I'm opening up across town, and we're opening up at the same time.
Yeah, competing businesses. I like it.
Okay, you're such a good writer. So this is the thing.
All right. So are you going already?
Yeah, I'm gonna start brainstorming names. Yeah, so feel free to keep the names coming in chat. I'll holler them out just so you know. But I'm going to be working in Illustrator, and I've kind of already started typing some text.
Okay, then I'm starting too. All right. So what I'm doing right now is I'm looking up icons. And there's just so many to choose from. I don't even know where to start. So all these icons are coming from the Noun project, which means they're all free to use, which is great. So I don't have a brand yet, so I haven't selected my brand colors. That's gonna be my first one.
Yeah.
And cheating, Paul, because I can't see your screen. So
no, you're okay. I'm just and I can tell you what I'm doing. I'm just starting with the words fancy tots until I come up with something else. There's teeter tots. That's another name that came in. Okay, keep them coming. But just in Illustrator, I'm just going to start with text, and I'm probably just going to go with like a script font and go out to Adobe Fonts and see what I can do there. You're starting more with the icons, which also works out really well.
Although I hit a bit of a snafu. I finally found the first thing in Noun Project that I couldn't find an icon for. And I'm very upset because this was the whole basis of my idea. So now I'm going to have to improvise. I think it'll be okay.
Okay.
I think it'll be okay. The bad thing is that, like, you're a designer. I'm not a designer. It looks like a bean. That doesn't look like a... So you have all these design best practices that I'm not used to following.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little harder for me.
You're totally fine. Like, I'll help you. A chat can always help as well. So feel free to help us out, chat, if you have any suggestions. I like it. I like yours being a food truck.
Yeah, you can see mine. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, you'll see why it's a food truck in a second.
Oh, man.
So I'm finding really good use out of this new group feature, which is really nice because now I can kind of move all my stuff around together at the same time. Let's see. I can use a
later
preset.
tater.
Oh, that's a good one.
Later tater. That's a good tagline. Like, that has to be on the back of the menu or something, or as you leave the place.
Yeah.
But
so I'm looking at our preset, like, kind of text lockups that we have here. But I think I'm going to go my own way. I was about to sing a song that I don't think we have the rights to actually sing on live stream.
I don't know if you, I don't know the rules there. Like, you probably can't. You would know, being a podcaster.
I would know. You can't. Unless it's like 3 seconds or something.
Okay. So we could just play Name That Tune. 3 seconds. 3-second clips.
That was the whole tune. You know what it is, because I said the words to the song.
Oh, I don't know.
It's You Can Go Your Own Way.
Oh, that's a good one. Happy Tots, Tiny Tots, Trio Tots, reading just from chat. We're all brainstorming. This is good. Totos.
You haven't even figured out your name yet?
Well, I must say that my name might change based on what we get in chat.
That's not fair because I can't see the chat.
That's why I'm reading them all to you.
Okay.
Truck a tot.
Truck a tot?
I think truck and tot. There might be something there. Potatoes. So potatoes. That's kind of fun, Steve. Good. I like that. Kind of making up your own term.
I don't like this typeface. Railway. Not feeling it. This is where I get caught up. I can't it's quicksand. I can't decide. I'm like,
you'll just get paralyzed from like, oh, what do I do with this?
There's so much. I get what's the phrase? Something of choice. What's the phrase?
Oh, yeah, the paradox of choice.
Paradox of choice.
Is that
or choice paralysis. No, I'm trying to think of choice paralysis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
paradox of choice is there are so many choices that you won't make a decision. It's actually bad for a like maybe grocery store to have too many of one thing. It's
I'm
better to
done.
pick 3 of one things. Oh, you're done? Holy cow. Look at you. And it's beautiful. Have tots will travel.
It's got a real
You
mouthful.
I'm into it. Tots on wheels, monster totters,
Monster totters.
truck a tot. I'm trying to do I don't know if many people know this, just so you know what I'm doing is Illustrator has the ability to create like 3D, like a pseudo 3D. So I just took, I'm making a tot, like a little 3D tot basically, just as an F, just so you know what's happening. I used a little 3D revolve in Illustrator.
Man, tater tots are not a popular search. Who would think that there weren't photographers out there just taking endless stock images of tater tots?
Right?
I'm actually curious on Adobe stock, like if there's more options. There's definitely going to be, I'm sure. Come on. Oh, there's so many good tater tot images.
Oh, on Adobe stock.
On stock, yeah.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna select this. It's gonna have the stock background on it. So just pretend it doesn't, because I have to go to the stock site to actually license that.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do some fun stuff here.
Not your father's tots, like a tots for no. Sorry, okay.
Not your father's tots. Wow.
It should be like not your kids' tots or something, like tater tots for adults sort of thing. It's like it's like Blue Star Donuts, which is donuts for adults.
Well, why are Blue Star Donuts for adults?
Just because they have a rosemary raspberry donut or a bourbon blueberry donut, so those type of flavors.
Yeah.
It's kind of what they're.
I do like those. Yeah. I am a fan of the Blue Star.
Right? Yeah.
All right, so I've got my grand opening sign here. Oh, that Adobe stock watermark is gonna kill me. It's okay. We can persevere. I'm having fun with text lockups right now.
It's good. I like it.
I have an address.
It's a good little test we're doing. Mr. Potato Head. Ah, that's good. Boy, if there wasn't licensing issues, that's a good one.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to work for you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Tasty Tots. That's good too.
That was the name of our fake company yesterday.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Actually, that was fine.
I'm actually going to do that as well.
Move that up there. All right.
Also, thank you, Sam. There is a survey we're passing around. We just want to get your feedback and make sure you find these sessions helpful. So feel free to fill that out, and we'd appreciate it.
Cool. Well, I just created a little grand opening flyer for social, because I could have my address in here too, but I don't want to have to think of one. Thank you. But so I'm going to download it as a PDF. That way I can take it to the printer. It's going to be a nice high DPI, and be able to pass that out, back when we can go back out into the world again. Or I guess I could walk around and slide these under people's doorways while maintaining a safe social distance.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks really good. I am so impressed.
All right, now I'm going to resize it though for social. So I made this square version, but if I want it to be an Instagram story just with one click, got the right aspect ratio, I can play around with the position of some things if I want to. But yeah, pretty easy to just be able to do one click and have all of your assets be in the right spot here.
Yeah. It takes longer to heat up the fryer than it does to make the tots. I don't even know how to make tots. I don't even know if you like fry them. I assume they're like
I think you
fried
deep
guys.
fry them. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Have you ever used an air fryer?
I have not.
Yeah.
Air
fryers are where it's at.
Yeah.
I don't have one because I'm not allowed to buy any more kitchen appliances unless I start using the ones I have already.
That's funny.
Oh.
Says most people probably. That's like the
That's
situation.
right.
Like everybody kind of has a little bit of a, parts of their chicken are just a graveyard of things.
My microwave is getting a lot of play
Yeah.
lately.
I don't want to hear something funny. Is like I don't even have my microwave in my kitchen. It's downstairs. It's right here in the basement.
Oh.
Because it doesn't really fit upstairs, and it kind of works out because it kind of forces me to, go like make things on the stovetop.
Yeah.
And have
It's
less
always better.
microwaved things.
It's always better that way. It's just takes longer. I guess that's the whole point. I forgot to make a version of my logo that's just for being a logo. So I'm going to duplicate my project, go in, edit it, get that logo by itself for a little bit. Go.
Astro Tots on the go. Just reading out some other. Tater Works. I like it. And Anthony agrees. I guess air fryers are pretty awesome.
Yeah. They're supposed to be better for you too, which is, nice, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're into that kind of thing. I kind of want to change my food truck.
Well, that's the cool thing is like I've seen you change. Even yesterday, we changed the logo multiple times.
Yeah.
And you were able to update it pretty quickly. So
I'm going to ungroup.
Tater Temptations.
Ooh, that's a good
I
one.
kind of like Tater Works. I like Tater Works and then like go with like an industrial theme where all the cogs and the wheel and stuff are little tater tots.
That would be fun. Oh, I should have done that. What if
Well, just a time check. We have about 15 minutes.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Oh, I like this little truck. This truck is funny. Okay.
It takes us longer to heat up the air fryer than it does that is a fun truck. And again, I don't know how that stuff works.
You don't know what air fryers
Air fryers,
work?
like, is it like, how does it fry if it's air? I don't get it.
It circulates it like really, it's like superheated air that circulates, kind of like a convection oven, I think. That's my
Okay.
understanding.
Huh.
All right, that truck is way more quirky and looks much better with the potato. Getting a little sick of this teal color though. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
go black, like my soul.
Branch out a little, because you have been really into that color,
I know.
that teal color.
When I was a kid, my whole room was that color, that teal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think it's just like what I gravitate towards naturally. All right, so now I've created my logo. I want to make sure I export it as a transparent PNG. Let's say, call this...
Mad Totters. All right, and a +1 on the Mad Totters. It's like Mad Hatters, okay.
Nice. I'm going to go create a brand for this one. I created so many brands for Max last year. I just had like the funniest brands that I kept making. It's like almost like my favorite part of the job is just coming up with
really?
fake companies that I can create campaigns for. Yeah.
I feel like you're a pretty good like writer. Do you think that's the case? I mean, it seems like you are.
Yeah, I mean, I have a
you're pretty
background
good
in that
at-
kind of stuff too.
Yeah, coming up with things on the fly like you've been doing. I've just noticed that between yesterday and today.
And the alliteration. I'm a big fan of puns and alliteration.
Oh, nice.
Which, for better or for worse, not everyone's a fan.
I love puns. I think a lot of it's all on delivery,
Mm-hmm,
just be cool about it. You deliver it the right way. Super funny.
I'm very much like, are you familiar with the meme Pun Dog?
No.
It's a 3-cell meme. So it's 3 different blocks and it's a husky. And the husky tells a joke that's a pun. And the last frame is the husky laughing at its own joke. And that's my spirit animal.
That's
so
sure.
Good. Yeah.
Like that's so good. I mean, I always say that, like, even you probably make a really good presenter as well. Cause like, if you're entertaining yourself, it's going to be a good presentation. Like if you're enjoying it. And if you're like laughing at your own jokes, do that. I think usually like at least one person will like the presentation, like, as you. If anybody's going to, it better be you, that sort of thing. So anyway.
Well, that's why we do this evangelism thing, because we like to present and we like to make bad jokes that hopefully people will laugh at and appreciate. Right. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to create a Facebook cover.
Man, you're killing it.
This is just how easy it is, Paul. It's just how easy it is.
I'm still working on the logo.
It's good times.
Hot to tot. Ah, I like that.
Hot to tot.
That's good.
That is so good. That's really good. I'm looking for, because I'm just going to build my own. I'm not going to do a template. I'm going to do it live. I don't need to upload a photo. Search. No, I said search. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to pull up a nice little landscape. Oh, this is perfect. And I'm going to add my logo. Switch my logo to be Have Tots Will Travel. Great.
Hot to tot. That's a good tagline too.
Hot to tot.
And again, if you're just joining us, the one and only Veronica Belmont's mastering Adobe Spark Post, making social media assets, it looks like right now. Is that a Facebook header?
It is.
Okay, cool.
Or I guess it could be an ad too, but I think, it's a header. That's not popping against that background enough. I want a version of that logo that is just the truck without the words.
Yeah, and that might be a case. Yep. You're doing exactly what designers do. It's like you have your main logo and your alternate and all that fun stuff.
Yep. And I could do like a word mark version that's just the Have Tots Will Travel portion. Okay, so let me cut these out real fast. Oh no, I didn't group my potato. Gotta group the potato. There we go. Mash them. Stir them in a stew. Little Lord of the Rings reference for you.
Oh yeah, talking about how to eat the hobbits.
Mm-hmm. No, potatoes, how they like to eat potatoes. Different ways of eating potatoes.
Oh. Huh.
Mash them, boil them, put them in a stew.
Potatoes are pretty good.
Yeah.
The question is potato is technically a vegetable, right?
Are they?
I don't know. Aren't they? Is potato a vegetable? I know it's definitely a starch, but, come on. I don't know.
I don't know either. They gotta be.
Yeah.
They're a vegetable. Okay, so now I've got that. I'm gonna resize this though, so it's a little more horizontal. Like this, for example, perfect. Okay, download that as a transparent PNG. Now I've got a couple of different versions I can pull into my brand manager.
Everybody picked up on your reference, your Lord of the Rings reference.
Oh, that makes me feel good. That makes me happy.
5 minutes.
Just importing my logo only, and then I'm going to import my word mark. That's what I call it. Is that what it's called when it's just the text of your logo?
What's that? Word mark?
Word mark?
When it's just the text?
Yeah, like what would you call that? Again, for those just tuning in, I am not a designer, so some of these things are still very new to me.
Yeah, I don't know, like a word mark or a type lockup might be like the tagline, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just call it a word mark. Sure.
Okay.
A lot of times it is like it's a type lockup that you would.
Okay, so now I've got my logo here. I'm going to do a little bit of a different variation and add them both.
You're going so fast.
So that's just a little one I could do. I can save that for later. I'm going to go back. I'm going to start from a template, I think, this time. Let's see if they have a food truck. Did we make a food truck template? Yeah, we did.
That looks great.
Nice.
So many of those are really nice.
Yeah, this one's fun. It's teal. Gee, I wonder why I picked it. Super weird.
That's okay.
Add my logo to this one. I don't even know.
Okay,
do anything.
Tia Reed says, yes, it is a veggie. Tia, we're
Thank
gonna need
you.
more than that. We're gonna need some. How are you gonna back that up? I agree as well. So if I sit down with like,
So is it
burger
healthy,
and
though?
fries, yeah. Sit down with burger and fries. It's like I'm just having a burger and veggies. Can I tell somebody that? I think so. I guess.
I think that's legit. I think that's fair. Nice. So I just brandified this. Got my own fonts and colors for my brand. I'm going to add my logo again. This one.
Veronica, also, since we have like 5 minutes left, I'm wondering if you can tell us any secrets about Adobe Spark of like what's coming soon, or more importantly, like I noticed you mentioned some updates that you guys have had that I didn't know were like how often do you update like Spark, or give us some inside scoop. For
Yeah,
anything.
we've got a ton of things in the pipeline. Whole new look and feel for Spark coming up soon, which is going to be awesome.
Cool.
We've got grouping now, which I think is a huge kind of like speed optimization. Just general performance fixes and stuff like that, like making Spark run super fast, super easy. The mobile version of the app has gotten a ton of love recently. So now you can add animations. So there's all these different great text animations you can put on your posts. We're bringing that to web super soon as well. It's one of the projects that my team has been working on. So I'm really excited for that to come. So, because what is it? You have like 7 milliseconds or something to grab someone's attention on a social feed. So being able to have that little bit of like animation movement, something eye-catching to kind of grab people's focus when they're scrolling, thumb-stopping content, if you will, I think is like a really great way to kind of up your game. And also Giphy integration. So being able to add animated GIFs to your posts and video.
Ooh.
So now you can have 15-second long video backgrounds for
that's
Spark
coming?
Post.
Or is
That's
that
here? That's here.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
So that's on the app too. So I didn't demo that today. So maybe for a future show we can play around with some animation stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I had no idea I could do all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like you can update I mean, it's web-based, sort of app-based, so you can push out updates, it's like little treats that drop in there.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the fun things too. Is it just being Spark? It's a little bit unique, I think, in the Adobe world because we are a web app, and web and mobile primarily. So it has a bunch of interesting challenges, but it also, like, for example, my first week of work, I had to go give a huge presentation out in where was I? I think it was in St. Louis, and my laptop, they didn't have the right connector to connect my laptop to the presentation like system. And, oh no, all my stuff is on my laptop. How am I going to give this demo? And fortunately, I had done the whole presentation in Spark Page. And so I was actually able to use someone else's laptop, just go to the URL and be able to share my whole presentation in Spark Page without needing to like download any content, without needing to like get a thumb drive. So stuff like that is super convenient too, especially for a web-based product.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely. That saved you.
Yeah.
It's always, that's good to, use it for presentations. It works.
Yep. We use it a ton internally at Adobe. So that's always really cool to see how different teams within Adobe make use of Spark and Spark Page specifically to share content and ideas.
Yeah. Well, geez, we're getting down to the wire. We're down to our last 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So I'm glad you wrapped up.
Spark.adobe.com.
Yeah. We need more time next time, honestly. So thank you,
Totally.
everyone, for hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Veronica, you've been fantastic and so fast. Thanks, everybody. And stick around. There's more coming up right after us. Jeremy Lloyd. Thanks, everybody. Bye.